Hi, I'm Jose Palazzo and this is the weekly Shark Rant for Divers for Sharks. I'm talking to you in the aftermath of that horrendous terrorist attack in France, in Paris. And the reason I'm referring to that is because freedom of speech is fundamental for doing conservation activism or for defending the values of a modern society. We, the fighters for the environment, should be aware of things that are happening all around the world to try to suppress free speech, to suppress citizens' protests in so-called Western democracies also that is happening. Here in Brazil, under the current regime, the last 12 years, more than 400 activists on social and environmental issues were murdered, and the government does nothing. In other countries like Australia, there are laws being proposed or passed trying to suppress public demonstrations for the environment. There's a lot of people these days out in the streets in Australia and other places against fracking for gas. A very, very bad thing for the environment. These people are being put in jail or being sued for defending the environment. We have to be aware of those things and try to fight for our right to defend the environment. This week in Brazil also we're involved in several different issues. Our co-founder Paulo Guilherme Pinguim is up in Espírito Santo State with local activists fighting against a criminal proposal to put up a big commercial harbor, Manabi, in one of the most biodiverse areas of the southeastern Brazilian coast. A place where not only we still have healthy shark populations, but also where sea turtles nest. It's the last nesting place for leatherback turtles in Brazil. And the criminals in charge of this country want to put a huge commercial harbor there in a state which has at least 10 other proposals for new harbors and which already has commercial harbors in place. So Divers for Sharks is adding its voice to the fight against Manabi, thanks to the several Brazilian activists who helped us not only in organizing that but also donating money so Paulo could be there. Also this week we've been fighting against the criminal industrial fisheries mafia. These morons not only have mined and destroyed most of Brazilian fisheries already, but now they blocked a major harbor in southern Brazil, Itajaí, with their boats to try to get rid of a new regulation that protects only endangered species of fishes against industrial fishing. These guys are trying to revoke the protection for the most endangered species of sharks, rays, and other fish in Brazil. And they're doing that by using the lobby they have in Brasilia, the federal capital, and also by blocking ports with their boats in a country which is absolutely lawless when it comes to the defense of these big corporate interests. So Divers for Sharks has been alone in fighting these mafias. None of the big international NGOs which parasite my country with their offices and their fundraising have raised their voice against the industrial fisheries mafia that is trying to get rid of endangered species protection. And I just wonder why. We're trying to do our part and we're hoping to do more during this year. We're considering our legal options, as I had already told you before. But this time we can't let the industrial fishing mafia in Brazil get rid of endangered species protection. And we count on you to help us. You're going to see that in our Facebook page. We've placed the email address of the Minister of the Environment. Please write to her, to Ms. Isabela Teixeira, expressing your support for the marine endangered species protection. And also, if you can, become a member of Divers for Sharks. Right now, as I said, Paulo is up in Espírito Santo fighting against the Manabi harbor, but we didn't have money for doing both campaigns at one time. He's up there, and I'm sitting at my office because I don't have the funds to go to Brasilia and rally political support for endangered species. So if you can become a Wobegon member for Divers for Sharks, it's just $1 a month. And as I said before too, support your local environmental groups. The big international NGOs with a few exceptions, Sea Shepherd being one of them, good guys. These big international NGOs all have corporate donations, and when you really need to put the hand on these big issues against the corporate interests, where are they? We're fighting the industrial fishing mafia in Brazil practically along with our volunteers. So thank you for those of you that are helping keep on with that fight. Have a good week.